The day the sky tore open, humanity thought the world was ending. Across every continent, clouds split into violent spirals, and from the burning heavens descended ships the size of mountains, obsidian black, their surfaces rippling like liquid metal. The invaders called themselves the Vreeth, an ancient warrior race that conquered worlds not for resources, but for sport. They were tall, armored in biometal that pulsed with alien energy, and their leader was a being named Karuel, the warlord of 9 systems. Karuel stood at nearly 9 feet tall. His eyes glowed silver, and his 4-fingered hands were designed for both elegance and killing. Humanity's greatest weapons, nuclear arsenals, railguns, orbital lasers, meant nothing to them. Within 3 days, the Vreeth had disabled every military defense network on Earth. And then they spoke. Karuel's voice echoed across every screen, every frequency. "Humans," he said, his tone dripping with disdain. "You call yourselves intelligent. You kill your own kind over invisible borders, poison your home for profit, and pray to gods who never answer. You are not a species. You are a mistake." There was no war, only humiliation. The Vreeth gathered the humans in their cities, forcing them to kneel as Karuel paraded before them. He mocked them for their weakness, their emotions, their fragility. He made them fight each other for his amusement, recording every moment as proof of humanity's inferiority. Yet, among the billions kneeling beneath alien rule, one human refused to bow. To the last engineer. Her name was Dr. Mara Ellison, a robotics engineer once employed by the defunct United Earth Coalition. Before the invasion, she designed adaptive drones meant for planetary repair, not combat. But when the Vreeth arrived, her creations were destroyed along with every hope of human resistance. She lived hidden in the ruins of Boston, scavenging what little technology remained. She had seen Karuel's broadcasts, his arrogance, his contempt. She had watched him crush human soldiers with his bare hands and laugh. But unlike most, Mara didn't feel despair. She felt anger. Night after night, she pieced together fragments of alien tech, broken armor plates, weapon shards, even bits of Vreeth circuitry scavenged from crash sites. For 6 months she worked in silence, creating something forbidden, a hybrid machine powered by alien energy and human ingenuity. She called it Prometheus. It was no war machine. It was a prototype, an autonomous construct that could think, learn, and adapt faster than any Vreeth drone. A symbol of what humanity could be if given a chance to evolve beyond its mistakes. Mara's plan was reckless. Infiltrate Karuel's arena, the so-called Crucible of Judgment, where humans were forced to duel for the aliens' entertainment. She would challenge the warlord himself, not to defeat him physically, but to expose the one thing he didn't understand about humanity. Not strength, not technology, but will. 3. The Crucible. The Crucible was a colosseum carved into the desert outside Cairo, a monument to alien superiority. The audience, thousands of Vreeth warriors, filled the air with thunderous roars as another human fell to the sand. Karuel stood at the center, towering over the bodies of the defeated. "Another creature who thought it could stand," he said, raising his blade. "And yet you all fall the same." As he turned away, a lone figure stepped onto the arena floor. A woman in torn armor, dragging behind her a metallic construct glowing with faint blue light. The crowd hissed and jeered. "Identify yourself," Karuel demanded, his silver eyes narrowing. Mara's voice was steady. "Dr. Mara Ellison, human. And I challenge you, warlord of the Vreeth." The arena fell silent. No human had ever dared to address him by name. Karl laughed, the sound echoing like thunder. "A scientist. You are not even a warrior. Do you wish to die faster than the others? I didn't come to die, Mara said. I came to teach you something. He tilted his head, intrigued. Then teach, fragile one. She activated Prometheus. The construct rose from the sand, a towering machine of polished metal and light. It resembled no human design, no alien weapon. It was fluid, its limbs shifting like mercury, its core pulsing with a heartbeat of blue fire. The Vreeth crowd went silent as the machine's eyes opened, locking onto Cariol. And then, without warning, Prometheus moved. Faster than sound, faster than any organic being could react. Its fist collided with Cariol's armor, sending shockwaves through the arena. The warlord staggered backward, stunned not by the pain, but by the audacity. Impossible, he hissed. Mara's voice rang out. You said humans were weak. But everything you mock, our curiosity, our desperation, our emotion, is what drives us to surpass even the impossible. The battle began. For Clash of Worlds. Cariol roared, his armor igniting with streams of molten light. He drew his plasma blade, a weapon that had ended civilizations, and lunged. Prometheus dodged with liquid grace, shifting its limbs into shields, tendrils, and blades as needed. Every movement reflected both human ingenuity and alien efficiency, a fusion neither species had conceived before. The arena shook with the force of their combat. The Vreeth warriors, who had come to witness human humiliation, found themselves silent. Every strike, every counter, every adaptation from Prometheus shattered their belief in Vreeth's superiority. Cariol fought harder, faster, but the machine matched him at every turn. How? He bellowed. No human mind could create this. Mara stood at the edge of the arena, her neural link glowing at her temple. You're right, she said, breathless. It wasn't just my mind. It was every human who ever dreamed, built, or loved. Every failure, every pain, every hope. We learn from all of it. That's something your species never understood. Cariol charged. His blade pierced Prometheus's chest, impaling it. Sparks erupted as the machine faltered. The crowd cheered, their faith in the warlord restored. Mara collapsed to her knees. No, Cariol sneered. You see now. Your emotions make you weak. You built a god, and it dies crying for its creator. But then Prometheus moved again. Slowly, deliberately. The blade still lodged in its chest. It raised a trembling arm and placed its hand on Cariol's armor. Its voice was distorted, broken, but unmistakably human. Pain is how we grow. In a burst of light, Prometheus absorbed the alien blade's energy, converting it into a pulse that exploded outward. Cariol was thrown backward, his armor fractured. The audience screamed as the unthinkable happened. The invincible warlord bled. Mara rose, trembling. You can't understand sacrifice, Cariol, because you've never had anything worth losing. The breaking point. The warlord staggered to his feet, his pride more wounded than his body. Enough, he roared. You will kneel, human. He raised his hand, and the arena's gravity field increased 100-fold. Sand turned to stone under pressure. Mara was crushed to the ground, gasping for air. Prometheus collapsed beside her, its systems flickering. Cariol approached, towering over her. I admired your defiance, he said softly. But defiance without power is nothing. Mara coughed, blood staining her lips. You think power is domination, but power is choice. With the last of her strength, she reached for the neural link cable connected to Prometheus. She tore it from her head and plunged it directly into her chest. The machine's eyes blazed with new intensity. Its consciousness merged with hers, human and synthetic thought fusing into one. Prometheus stood again, its voice now layered with hers. "I am humanity." Caruel charged, unleashing a storm of energy, but the fusion entity caught his attack bare-handed. The energy rippled harmlessly across its body. "You fight to prove superiority," it said, its voice echoing like a chorus. "We fight to protect, to endure, to become more than what we were." The battle turned one-sided. Every strike from Caruel was countered, every tactic predicted. Finally, Prometheus disarmed him, slamming him into the ground with crushing force. The great warlord, who had mocked an entire species, now knelt in the dust. Mara's voice, calm, almost sorrowful, echoed through the hybrid. "You called us a mistake. But mistakes are how we learn. Even now you can learn too." Caruel spat, his pride unbroken. "You would spare me. You think mercy is strength." "No," she replied. "But it's human." He turned away. For the first time in his long existence, Caruel felt something alien to him, shame. 6. The aftermath. Word of the warlord's defeat spread faster than light. Across the occupied cities, Vreeth soldiers hesitated to carry out orders. The broadcasts that once showed human humiliation now showed something else, a Vreeth warrior on his knees before a human. The rebellion began not with weapons, but with belief. Humans rose up, not to destroy but to reclaim. They sabotaged alien outposts, freed captives, and shared Mara's message across every channel. "We are not mistakes. We are becoming." Caruel was taken back to his flagship, wounded and humiliated. His second-in-command urged immediate retaliation, but the warlord did not speak for days. He stared out into the void, replaying the battle in his mind. The way she fought, the way she forgave. It haunted him. Finally, he ordered his fleet to withdraw. His council protested. No Vreeth had ever retreated, but Caruel silenced them. "You do not understand," he said. "We fought machines, beasts, and gods across 1,000 worlds. But never something like this. Humanity will rise, and I will not be the fool who tries to stop them again." And with that, the Vreeth ships vanished into the stars, leaving a broken but unbowed Earth behind. 7. Legacy of the human spirit. Mara did not survive the merging. Her body was gone, her consciousness now permanently bound within Prometheus. In the years that followed, the construct became both protector and teacher. It guided humanity into rebuilding, not as conquerors but as collaborators. Cities once destroyed were reborn as sanctuaries of technology and art, blending human creativity with Vreeth science. Prometheus spoke often to the new generations. "Strength is not the absence of weakness. It is the decision to rise despite it." Centuries later, when humans finally ventured beyond the solar system, they encountered remnants of the Vreeth Empire. To their surprise, they were not met with hostility, but with respect. Statues of a human woman and a silver machine stood on alien worlds, beneath plaques written in both languages. "To the one who taught us that mercy is not weakness." 8. The warlord's return. 100 years after the invasion, a small human vessel detected an incoming transmission, old, encrypted in Vreeth code. The message was faint, distorted by time. When decrypted, it revealed Caruel's voice. "To the people of Earth, I was once your enemy. I mocked you for your flaws, your chaos, your fragile hearts. I see now that those were your strengths. My empire has crumbled because it could not change. Yours will endure because you can. If ever you come to the stars again, know this. I will not meet you as a conqueror, but as a student. The transmission ended. And somewhere in the depths of the cosmos, a single star flared brighter, as if acknowledging a promise fulfilled. 9. The human who changed everything. Generations passed. Humanity thrived. The story of Mara Ellison became legend, a myth told to children under reconstructed skylines and digital constellations. But one truth endured through the centuries. The idea that one person's defiance, one spark of belief, could change the course of not just humanity, but the entire galaxy. Prometheus remained, a silent guardian orbiting Earth, its eyes ever watchful. Inside, deep within its core, a faint echo of Mara's consciousness lingered. One day, a young scientist approached the ancient construct and asked, "Do you ever regret what happened?" The machine's eyes flickered. "Regret?" it said softly. "No, only gratitude. Because even in death, I proved that humanity's heart cannot be conquered." And in that moment the stars themselves seemed to listen. Epilogue Beyond the Stars. In the year 2874, the first human Vreath Alliance fleet launched from the rebuilt lunar shipyards. Their mission, to explore beyond the edge of known space, to seek, not to conquer. The flagship bore a name etched in gold, the Ellison. As it drifted past the old orbit of Prometheus, the construct's sensors detected the ship and activated a long-forgotten transmission. "If you are hearing this," Mara's voice said, echoing across time, "then humanity has done what it was always meant to do, reach for the impossible. Remember, the universe will always test you, mock you, and try to break you. But as long as even one human chooses to rise, we will never truly fall." The crew stood in silence as her words faded into the void. And then, with engines burning blue against the endless dark, the Ellison jumped to light speed, carrying the legacy of one human who changed everything.